Peace and love. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And those of you that have been here, welcome back. Peace and love. Let's get to it. Let's dive on in. Today's message is getting me just so excited to talk about. And I'm going to be looking down at my notebook because I've written down some scriptures. So the topic of today is heaven is your mind. Heaven is your mind. Just sit with that. Heaven is your mind. What does heaven look like to you? What does it feel like to you? What does it bring you just thinking of that thought? Heaven is your mind. We have the power to bring heaven or hell on earth. Heaven and hell is within you. It's like an elevator. You can go way to the top or you can hit the bottom. And you could stay in either places if you choose to. It is a choice. That's why we have free will. We have free will to think the way we want to. We have free will to make the choices we want to make. We make those decisions. And it took me to have a full understanding of this dynamic of heaven or hell on earth, and this thought that I had to deprogram myself of and create reprogramming within my code to say that heaven is not a place that you are looking to achieve, like that it is outside of you. Everything you need is in you. Every place you want to go is in you first, because you're creating an initial inward embodiment and manifestation of what you're desiring in your outward reality. So you're not going to manifest physically what you're not already thinking about on the inside of you. And if your thoughts have been caught up or scattered all around the place, that seed is just, it's shaking and moving. So let me just give you this picture here. I did this activity with my daughter. It's really, really messy, but basically think of a pot. So you have your pot and your mind is your soil. And you have seeds that you are planting in this soil. And those seeds are going to return a harvest of what you're planting in it. So you could plant anything you want. The seeds could be whatever. So if you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel, that is the thought. I'm starting a YouTube channel. Now there's going to be a bridge to get there. And oftentimes some of us do vision boards, and we have like that we're hitting this 10 million subscribers. That is the growth of the YouTube channel, but there's things in between. When you plant a seed, you don't see it come up the next day. You don't see it bear fruit the next day, but you know that something is happening because eventually it will start to sprout. So what seeds have you been planting that are a reflection of the direction that you want to go? We experience heaven on earth when we get really clear, when we get really concise, where we get really intentional with our thoughts. The scripture, and I'm referencing the King James Version. I'm referencing the NIV. So whatever doctrine that you use, look for similar scriptures. But in the Bible, and I take this with a grain of salt, as we should, because the Bible is an interpretation from man. And then there's a lot of other stuff put in, and I will share these in future videos to come. And it really takes you using discernment on how you interpret scriptures and what it means to you. So in Matthew 6:9-13, talks about heaven on earth. Deuteronomy 11:21 talks about heaven on earth. Revelations 21:1-3 talks about heaven on earth. And this is the Christ consciousness within. So many of us have heard Christ is going to return. He's going to save us. That is talking about the level of consciousness and the states of consciousness within you. You're activating that pineal gland within your brain that comes on. It is your soul awakening. It is your awakening process that starts to show you a new reality, a new perspective, a new possibility. And you know, when you have this awakening, there's nothing like it. It is literally an energy that shifts within you that says there's so much more. There's so much more. And we have that intelligence within us that becomes activated to show us that we are outside and can be outside of our circumstances inwardly. This is an inward job, okay, that you are doing. When you raise to these states of consciousness within you, that brings Christ consciousness. When you think of like demons, right? They can't just come in unless you let them, okay? So when you think of getting saved, what do we say when we're getting saved? You know, I am opening my heart to allow Christ to come in to my heart. Those are the words and the language that we're using when we are saving ourselves, right? So we're essentially saving ourselves, and we're allowing this Christ consciousness, this energy of goodness and compassion and love to come in and shower our bodies, okay? Many of us have blockages. Many of us have traumas. Many of us have been programmed with our subconscious body, our mind, and our DNA has been, in a sense, corrupted. So we talk a certain way, we act a certain way, and we've been doing this for so long. I would just say so long. In this lifetime, in this realm, you may have found yourself, like I found myself at one point, just speaking so negatively, talking negatively, living negatively, my life not matching up with abundance. Okay, that's not Christ consciousness. That is not a state of awareness, because you're just in a sleepless state of being unconscious where you're not aware. Okay, consciousness is awareness. So you haven't been aware, you've just been sleeping, meaning that when you're sleeping, any thoughts are happening. And this is why you may hear in the Bible, like, wake up, like, oh, sleeper is what I keep hearing coming through. Oh, sleeper, sleeper. We've been sleeping because, you know, once you're up, you can become more, you're aware of what's going on around you. You're conscious, but we could actually be up and awake and still be asleep because we're allowing thoughts to just come in and control our day. And so this idea of heaven on earth is allowing you to raise your states of consciousness within you. How do we do that? We begin clearing the subconscious blockages. We begin shifting with who we was. The Bible talks about, renewing the mind. Talks about taking off the old self and putting on the new one. So this is you shifting into the new you. The new you is aware of your thoughts. The new you is aware of how you've been acting, and you begin to take on a new state of consciousness, which is the love, the compassion, and doing the inward work. Some people call it shadow work. So you're doing the work to remove the trauma, the blockages, to remove that victim mentality, and you're taking control. You're taking a stance. If you think about God just think about how God, or the creator, I don't even really like to use God because it has a whole other different meaning. However, that's another video, y'all. You'll see it. So you want to be thinking about, how would the creator act? How would the creator be? What is the creator like to you? Is the creator full of love and compassion and hope? Do you experience that in your inner world with the relationship that you have with the divine? You are a reflection of that. And many of us haven't been a reflection of that, if we keep it real. I haven't at one point in my life. We are to be a reflection of that so that we can be a vessel. We are an extension of God's hands and feet here on earth, the divine's hands and feet here on earth. We are to hold that energy. And many of us do not, because we're not doing the inner work. We're not raising our states of consciousness. Many of us aren't even aware of this information I'm sharing here. So if this is your awakening, I applaud you for continuing to even hear this far of this message, because it really is going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you to think about what I'm saying. It's going to challenge your beliefs. And many of us stood on that belief for X amount of years. And now it is time to shake up that belief and ask yourself, why do you believe what you have been believing? That heaven is the sky, and one day when we die, we'll get to experience heaven. No, it's not true. And you experience heaven when you start to see that the problem was you all along, when you start to see that you have been negative and you have chose to be. You can experience joy, you can experience compassion and love and abundance and just this amazing energy every day. It's a choice, but there's work that has to be done to get to that choice. Thinking about the seeds that you're planting. Your thoughts are the seeds that you're creating and the feeling that goes along with that. Your subconscious mind is your body, and your subconscious mind is picking up the images and the feelings that you have. So if there are things that you hold within you that you've been upset about for decades, Susie Betsy Crocker done talked about you behind your back and you've been mad as hell, living with that. And they're just living their best life. You've allowed this to come in and take control of you. And we experience more of heaven on earth when we start to clear out those baggages that we've been holding on to, thinking it's going to bring us on some amazing trip somewhere. It's not bringing you nothing but to your grave, the hell within you that you've been living out. And so you have the opportunity to shift timelines, to shift into the reality that you desire within this lifetime. You don't wait till you die. You experience this now. You experience the promised land within you now. How amazing is that? That you can wake up every day happy and joyful. And right now, you may be saying, like, how do I get to that place? You begin getting to that place when you become aware. You have to become aware, otherwise you can't fix anything. And you have to start getting real with yourself. What is it that your stinking thinking been leading you away from? I had to change my way of thinking. I grew up hearing so much negative thoughts, so much negativity told to me, and I really had to do the inward work to change my thought patterns. What did I do? I started off with affirmations. I would create a list of the thoughts that was coming through that was really negative, beliefs that I had about myself, beliefs that I had about the world around me, and I began changing it with a counterproductive positive thought. What is that going to be for you? So if it was that I'm ugly, I'm unworthy, I'm worthy. You are worthy of love. You are love. You are the reflection of love. Begin to change that within you. And allow that belief, tell it, it's kind of that fake it till you make it. You may not feel that that's the truth right away, but you begin instilling and planting a new seed to begin growing. Do things that make you feel good along with those positive thoughts. When I have the thoughts of I don't feel worthy, I don't feel beautiful, okay, I am beautiful. What can I do to make me feel more beautiful? Maybe it is that I start dressing differently, do different hairstyles, get my nails painted, go outside and ground. Those things made me feel good. So you need to pair those positive thoughts with a feeling. And when you begin doing this over time, this starts becoming your ritual, your habit. It starts becoming a part of you. And this is how you start bringing in that heaven on earth experience. Now, of course, there's a whole list of other things that we can do. And sometimes when your trauma is so deep, you will need other tools and other people to come in to assist you in this journey. So the type of work that I do, and if you're feeling like I just need help, I help with DNA reprogramming, you shifting from your current timeline to a new reality. And so if you're looking to book a session with me, tap the link, and I trust that I'll see you and hear from you in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this message out with a friend. Peace and love.